Yesterday was spring here finally. We ought to be living outdoors with our friends. Let's go to those strangers in the field and dance around them like bees from flower to flower, building in the beehive air our true hexagonal homes. Someone comes in from outside saying, "Don't play music just for yourselves." Now we're tearing up the house like a drum, collapsing walls with our pounding. We hear a voice from the sky calling the lovers and the odd lost people. We scatter lives. We break what holds us, each one a blacksmith, heating iron and walking to the anvil. We blow on the inner fire. With each striking, we change. The whole place goes up, all stability gone to smoke. Sometimes high, sometimes low. We begin anywhere. We have no method. We're the bat, swung by powerful arms. Balls keep rolling from us, thousands of them underfoot. Now we're still. Silence also is wisdom, a flame hiding in cotton wool. And the last one, it's called Nassau, and I have been assured by a Persian friend. Persia, of course, in modern terms, that would be Iran, an Iranian friend, that this is the most beloved poem of Iran. Of course, Rumi is the #1 poet of the Islamic world. Of course, in some minds of the whole world. It's a little longer. Some time ago, there was a man named Nassau. He made his living shampooing women in a bathhouse. He had a face like a woman, but he was not effeminate, though he disguised his virility so as to keep his job. He loved touching the women as he washed their hair. He stayed sexually alert, at full strength, at all times, massaging the beautiful women, especially the princess and her ladies-in-waiting. Sometimes he thought of changing jobs, of doing something where he wouldn't be so constantly lustful, but he couldn't quit. He went to a Gnostic saint and said, "Please remember me in a prayer." That holy man was spiritually free and totally opened to God. He knew Nassau's secret, but with God's gentleness, he didn't speak it. A Gnostic says little, but inside he's full of mysteries, crowded with voices. Whoever is served that cup keeps quiet. The holy man laughed softly and prayed aloud. May God cause you to change your life in the way you know you should. The prayer of such a sheikh is different from other prayers. He has so completely dissolved his ego, nothing himself, that what he says is like God talking to God. How could such a prayer not be granted? The means were found to change Nassau. While he was pouring water into a basin for a naked woman, she felt and discovered that a pearl was missing from her earring. Quickly they locked the doors. They searched the cushions, the towels, the rugs, and the discarded clothes. Nothing. Now they search ears and mouths and every cleft and orifice. Everyone is made to strip, and the Queen's Lady Chamberlain probes one by one the naked women. Nassau, meanwhile, has gone to his private closet, trembling. I didn't steal the pearl, but if they undress and search me, they'll see how excited I get with all these new ladies. God, please help me. I've been cold and lecherous, but cover my sin this time. Please, let me not be exposed for how I've been. I'll repent. He weeps and moans and weeps, for the moment is upon him. Nassau, we have searched everyone but you. Come out. At that moment, his spirit grows wings and lifts. His ego falls like a battered wall. He unites with God alive, but emptied of Nassau. His ship sinks, and in its place move the ocean waves. His body's disgrace, like a falcon's loosened binding, slips from the falcon's foot. His stones drink in water. His field shines like satin with gold threads in it. Someone dead 100 years steps out, well and strong and handsome. A broken stick breaks into bud. All this happens inside Nassau after the call that gave him such fear. A long pause, a long waiting silence. Then a shout from one of the women, "Here it is!" The bathhouse fills with clapping. Nassau sees his new life sparkling out before him. The women come to apologize. "We're so sorry we didn't trust you. We just knew you'd taken that pearl." They kept talking about how they'd suspected him and begging his forgiveness. Finally he replies, "I'm much more guilty than anyone has thought or said. I'm the worst person in the world. What you have said is only 1/100th of what I've actually done. Don't ask my pardon. You don't know me. No one knows me. God has hidden my sneakiness. Satan taught me tricks, but after a time, those became easy, and I taught Satan some new variations. God saw what I did, but chose not to publicly reveal my sin. And now I'm sown back into wholeness. Whatever I've done now was not done. And whatever obedience I didn't do, now I did. Pure, noble, free like a cypress, like a lily, is how I suddenly am. I said, 'Oh no, help me,' and that 'oh no' became a rope let down in my well. I've climbed out to stand here in the sun. One moment I was at the bottom of a dank, fearful narrowness, and the next, I am not contained in this universe. If every tip of every hair on me could speak, I still couldn't say my gratitude. In the middle of these streets and gardens, I stand and say again, and it's all I say. I wish everyone could know what I know." Sometime later, a messenger came to Nassau. "The young princess would like you to wash her hair. She will let no one touch her but you." Nassau and the princess had been very close, but he replied, "Nassau is very sick. I've lost my touch. Look for someone else to tend the women's hair. I'm out of that business." He thought to himself, "The cold way I was still frightens me. In it, I tasted a kind of bitter living death. But this new life is real. I will stay in its grace until my soul leaves my body. One delight can only be replaced by a greater delight. Nassau found a friend lovelier than the princess."